So in this video, we are going to configure the basic router security configuration. So as you know, the cybersecurity is so concerned and so hot topic for now, and then everything is currently hacking and everyone is getting compromised. Network administrator, as the part of IT, you need to always make secure your environment. So that's why this is important, that we need to make sure security configuration need to be done to these routers. I'm gonna show you today in this video about the security configuration. So once you open the GNS3, make sure it is loading, and then also make sure this is the summary of the processor, what exactly using, how much RAM it is using, and if there is something error, we will see here. First thing, you will see the topology summary here. If there's a router is turned off, if there is router is turned on, this I'll walk through it and I'll show you how exactly it works. After you run the GNS3, make sure there's a green bubble, computer name and the CPU processor and so on. After that, make sure you loaded the images from the IOS, what I provide you in the download section of the resources. Once you import all of this, you have to be, and once you see all of this, so as my previous video, I already shown you how you can import the iOS template from here. So once you click OK, you can open the lab folder as I provide you. So you can click here and then open the lab, and also just make sure if there is the router and switches are here. Once you open that, you can close it and you can go to the first one, basic router configuration. I will put every tags, every lab files as per the name. We will open this. You need to open these with the GNS3 because this is raw. With the GNS, I export for you, and then you have to click on open. You will see the tags here, and this is the router 1 and router 2. Please make sure all of this, just make sure the copy of your folder. So because if something goes wrong on the original one, you will be messed up. So make sure you copy this and put the same place as the original one, and then you can play on the other one. Now once we open this, you have to click on the basic router security configuration. Once you open that, you'll see this tags. So now what we are gonna do here is, if you want to clear this error, so you can clear that, so you don't have to. As I told you, this is the topology summary. So it says, hey, R1 is this localhost and this is the localhost 1. So this is the port they're using. If you see the red, so it's mean that is not power on. For that, you have to do what? First thing, we need to connect. So what it says, connect R1 and R2 by their fast Ethernet 0/0 interface. So fast Ethernet 0/0 and fast Ethernet 0/0. Once we see this, this means it is not communicating with each other because router is power off state. So for that, we need to click here and then it will off. Also want to make sure is the label of this port. So you have to click here and then it will show the label of your port. If you want to put the notes, you can put this notes so somewhere if you want it. So for now, I'm going to power on this one. You can select this and then right click it and start. You can stop this or reload, and also you can change the symbol. You can check from here. So there's a lot of things you can do it, and if you want to use custom symbol, you can also select from here. And then if you want to use pre-built symbols from here, you can go here and open this and you can put anything. You can list filter by SWA, the router. So once we click here, apply, and that will change the router state. Okay, so just make sure that is changed. This is really cool features you can play around. Let's power on. Right click it, power on, and also make sure there is one more thing. As I told you in my previous video, make sure this image, the console is PuTTY standard alone. from here. Okay, so and also you can just make sure it is running exact same thing. Click OK, cancel. So you can now power on this. If you see right here, now the status is green. So you can also see which Ethernet port this is using, router 1, router 2, and console which port is using. So once we power on this one, it says we already done the task 1, and we have to go task 2, which is says set the host name according to the network diagram. So right click it, and you have to come here and click on console. You can see this. So it says R1 is already renamed, so we don't have to rename. If you want to rename, I will also show you. So this is the executing mode, and once we go to in configure terminal, this is the global state, so you can make changes here and make sure everything. This is the configuration. Also it is also known as the configuration state, so we can apply any commands from inside the config. So if you go to executing mode, you are not able to make changes on that state. For that, we need to go inside the config and set the host name, and to fill autocomplete, you have to press tab on your keyboard. What we have to do here is host name is R1. Okay, so R1 is there already. We don't really need to change, but that's the command. Now what we have to do here is set the enable password to each router. So let's set the password. Enable password CISCO. Okay, once we enable that password, so what it says is view the password running config is encrypted or not. So let's see if that is encrypted or not. Okay, so we have to go executing mode, and we have to say show running config. Okay, so once you do that, we will see this. So the host name is R1 as we configure. So we have enabled the password is Cisco. So that's the important, right? So this is need to be encrypted. This is not secure. So for that, we have to encrypt. So go to task 5 and enable the encryption router. Okay, enable password encryption in each router. So let's do that. Go to configure terminal. After typing the terminal, you have to say service password encryption. So once we do that, hit enter, and we will do the same command again. We will go back. You can press up arrow, and then you can see the configuration. So now you can see right here the enable password is encrypted. So but it's still, there is other things we can do it. For now, I will only show as the task. Okay, so you can just, but still you can crack this one. So this is not the binary, it's like long string, so long enough, so it should be okay for now. But we will go through different ideas, so how we can enable the secret. Okay, so for that we have to go exit. Now we have to disable the password encryption on each router. So configure terminal. After that, we will say no service password encryption. So we will do one more running config. So we can do so running config. Okay, the enable password is also encrypted. So what does that mean? From moving forward, the password will not encrypt. So that's how we need to make sure password is encrypted. So we are done with this, the number 8. So we are done with the router 1. After that, we need to close this, and we need to go here and click on console with the router 2. Hit enter multiple times and go to configure terminal, host name, R2. We need to enable the password, which is enable password Cisco. Okay, and we will go ahead, exit on, and show running config. So as we see, we enable the password, which is Cisco, and the host name is R2. So you can press Q from your keyboard to quit to whatever is seeing right now. So you can quit there, and you don't have to go all the way down to clear up. So you don't have to. So you can just press Q from your keyboard. That should be it. Now what need to be done here is enable the password encryption in this router. So let's do that. Configure terminal, and that need to be service password encryption. So we will do the running config again, exit and show running config. Now you can see password is encrypted. After that, we will go ahead again, configure terminal, and we will say disable the password encryption. So no service password encryption. So every time if you don't want anything like any configuration, you can put the no before the command. So that will help you to remove the configuration from your router. So after that, we are almost done with this. So let's exit this, and after that you can do up arrow again, so running config, and the password is still encrypted, but moving forward the password will not encrypt it. That's it for this video. I will see you in my next video.